And a welcome back to Sports Weekly on IEMG. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. Now, we are wrapping up the track and field season. For high school, we're going into the state meet. But at the junior college level, the 3C2A, they just had their state championships. And there he is, the state champion in the 3,000-meter steeplechase. That is San Bernardino Valley College's very own Jacob Mendiola, the Cajon High School product, bringing home first place. And he wasn't even 100% dealing with a toe injury. Here's our exclusive interview with the state champ, Jacob Mendiola. And now joining us here on the show, he is your 3,000-meter steeplechase 3C2A state champion, the great Jacob Mendiola from San Bernardino Valley College. Jacob, how does that sound? State champ, man.
I've been waiting for that.
You know what? When you're at the top of the podium, you got your gold medal. Like, what's going through your head? Like all the countless hours of training and practice. Like, what's going through your mind when you achieve the reward that you set out to win?
I was hoping my dad recorded it, first of all, but no, I was just really happy. Not really much to say. I was just in the moment, really seeing all my friends, like all the people I competed with. I consider them my really good friends, to be honest. We talk on and off the field, but nothing, no hatred or anything. I was just really excited to be up there.
So last year you had a great season, but coming back this year, was that the goal? Was it like state championship or bust? Like what was the expectation for you this year?
Well, I really wanted to try and go after a few more titles in the steeple. Fortunately, I was able to just get the steeple one alone. But I had a really big target on my back. Everyone already knew who I was. So to, lead the state in the time I had and to have that target on my back was just a real pleasure. And knowing I could have the opportunity of getting first in state was what I was really hoping for.
So instead of hunting for the state championship, you were the hunted, right? Like you were the guy to beat, but you were able to follow through. I'm sure everyone was, gunning for you, right, going into the state meet.
Yeah, honestly, it was kind of scary because I think it was a few times when people knew my name, and I was like, dang, that's scary.
Jacob, I think we've talked about this before, but the steeplechase, obviously that doesn't happen at the high school level. It's not a CIF sport. So when you got to SBVC, who kind of steered you in that direction that, hey, you might be the perfect kind of guy for this?
Honestly, I think it was a collective idea. Even when I was in high school, some of my coaches even, thought of the idea of, hey, you should do the steeple. So in my head, I already really had that idea of I should do the steeple. It came down to it when they were talking about Yoselin, who was also another one of our runners from Valley. She will be attending Cal State San Marino soon. But she, the idea of her running the steeple really brought me into running the steeple because they were like, all right, who's next? Who do we bring to this event next?
Well, Jacob, I would assume you have to be more than just a great distance runner, right? Like, what do you think makes a great steeplechase runner?
Strength, mentality. You really got to be in it the whole way. With strength, you gotta be mentally strong because once you fake out and you can't go over the hurdle anymore, it's you topple. The hurdle doesn't topple; it's all you. So you really just got to be mentally strong. Also, being physically strong in itself is really good, but if you have the finesse to get over a hurdle with no energy, you got it.
What's your approach, Jacob, normally going into a race? Is it like, hey, I want to jump out in front and just stay there? Or, hey, as long as I'm near the front, I'm going to save a little gas, in the gas tank and have that kick at the end where I can just blow past everybody. Do you have a strategy usually?
Most of the time, I'll be honest, most of the time the strategy is to try and win. So normally you don't really want to lead in the front the whole 6 laps and then get lapped by someone else at the very last minute. But there's a few times in the season where I really did want to chase a certain time, and the people in that field really didn't have the energy or the idea to run that time. So I would stick out in the front. And of course, some people would follow, and then at that point, just a race from there. But especially going into my last race, I really wanted to get a better time than what I did. And I really couldn't because I was dealing with an injury. That's why I only ran the one race.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, so what was that injury, and did it have an effect on you?
Something called hallucis tendonitis. It refers to the big toe, the tendon in the big toe. So a lot of the pressure I put in my forefoot every time I stepped or did a water jump, it really shot up into my leg, and I wasn't really able to get like a good push. And it kind of reflected in my training a bit. I had to stop running the week and a half prior to even running the state because I was just biking the whole time and I couldn't really, put that pressure on my foot. So with those changes, I really had to adapt to state meet and just ride with the pack until the last 800 meters until a guy from De Anza actually took it out and we were able to just fight it from there.
So was this an injury that happened at conference or at regionals? Where did this happen at?
I believe it happened right after I ran my fastest of the year, unfortunately. So that was at I can't remember right now, the Leopard Invitational or something at Laverne.
So that was your PR at that one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you knew like, hey, I'm probably not going to PR at state, but as long as I win state, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, at that point, I really did want to try and beat the school record in the state or at Valley.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, when I had the injury, I just had to go along with it and just ride out to the win.
So, Jacob, what's next for you?
I believe I'm just going to take a year and train unattached at the moment. Train with my coach at Valley again, try and knock down the numbers a little more, try and get a better full ride, I would assume.
Yeah.
That's what the dream is, So that's the dream. I want to chase it.
Come on, you're a state champion. I thought they'd be like banging down your door right now. Come on.
Well, not everyone is, so I got to that point somewhere.
Is there a certain as you go through this training this upcoming year? Is there a certain number you feel like, man, if I can get down to this, there'll be more opportunities for me at the next level?
I just think the benchmark numbers really are, to get to the D1 standards would be ideal. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say anything too crazy. I don't want to blow back on it too fast, but just knocking down the numbers like crazy.
All right, well, Jacob, listen, congratulations on the 3C2A championship, state title in the 3,000-meter steeplechase. That is Jacob Mendiola from SBVC. Jacob, great job, man. We are also super proud of you, man. Great job this year.
Thank you.
Congrats, Jacob, on bringing home the state championship. And that'll do it for this edition of Sports Weekly on IEMG. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez, and make sure you subscribe to the Inland Empire Media Group YouTube channel. And we will see you next time.